What to do when your family starts ignoring you in old age. There comes a moment in many people's lives when they look around and realize something unsettling. People they once held close, people they raised, protected, and poured their love into, have grown distant. Calls are no longer returned. Visits become less frequent. Conversations turn shallow or disappear altogether. And for many older adults, the sharpest pain isn't aging. It's being forgotten by the very family they helped build. If you're experiencing this quiet abandonment, know this first. You are not alone. The world doesn't talk enough about how painful it is to feel invisible in your own family. So what can you do when your family starts to ignore you? How do you respond without bitterness, without losing yourself? The first step is to acknowledge the grief without shame. Being ignored by loved ones stirs up a unique kind of mourning. It's not just about missing people, it's about feeling erased while you're still here. It's easy to internalize this as something you did wrong, but often it's not about you. Adult children get consumed by their own struggles, jobs, kids, distractions, and they assume you're fine if you're not complaining. They forget that love isn't measured in emergency calls. It's shown in presence, in the ordinary check-ins. Let yourself feel the sadness, even the anger. Don't suppress it or try to pretend it doesn't matter. Grief is not a sign of failure. It's evidence that you loved deeply. Second, speak your truth calmly, but clearly. Silence can be a slow poison. Don't say, "Why don't you care about me anymore?" Say instead, "I miss you. I'd love to talk more." Even if they don't change right away, speaking up restores your sense of agency. That's how healing begins. Next, reclaim your emotional life outside the family circle. This is crucial. One of the most freeing truths in old age is this. Your worth is not confined to your bloodline. Whether through friendships, community centers, volunteering, support groups, or even online forums, connection is still possible. Some people find more warmth in friendships made at 75 than in decades with relatives. Don't isolate. Let new people into your world, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. The pain of rejection doesn't go away just because you find someone else to talk to, but it becomes lighter when you're no longer carrying it alone. Another step many overlook is to look inward, not just outward. This is also a sacred opportunity to come closer to yourself. How much of your identity has been tied to being someone's mother, father, aunt, spouse? When those roles are no longer needed, who are you underneath them? This is not a crisis, it's a rebirth. Read books that inspire you. Walk in silence and listen to your thoughts. Write a journal, not to document your pain, but to rediscover your inner voice. You are not an accessory to someone else's life. You are still the main character in your story. Also, set boundaries around disrespect, even if it comes from family. Just because someone is your child or sibling doesn't mean they have a right to treat you like an afterthought. If conversations leave you feeling belittled, if visits are only about favors or obligations, you are allowed to say no. You don't have to accept crumbs just because you're hungry for love. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're filters to protect your heart. Another important practice is to invest in legacy, not approval. When you're ignored, the impulse is to try to prove your value. Do more, give more, stay quiet, or tolerate less than kind behavior just to stay in the picture. But the deeper fulfillment comes from creating something that will last beyond the silence. Write your life story. Record your voice for future generations. Pass down recipes, lessons, photos, and memories. Not because you need to be remembered perfectly, but because you deserve to be heard while you're still here. Your value doesn't lie in how many people show up for you. It lies in how you show up for yourself and what you leave behind with intention. In addition, let go of the illusion of fairness. One of the hardest things to accept in old age is that love isn't always returned the way it's given. That's painful, yes. But it doesn't mean your love was wasted. It means your love was unconditional. And that's the rarest kind. Don't measure the value of your life by how others repay you. Your kindness, your sacrifices, your devotion, they shaped people even if they never say thank you. You gave what they could not. That's strength, not weakness. Sometimes, though, the silence goes deeper. It becomes a permanent absence. If your family is completely out of touch and there's no interest in reconnecting, then you must do the hardest and most healing thing. Accept reality with grace. Acceptance is not surrender. It's choosing to stop banging on a locked door and turning toward open ones. You don't need their permission to heal. You don't need their attention to feel whole. You've already lived 1,000 lives, overcome countless losses. This is one more lesson in resilience. Lastly, remember that your life is still happening now. It's not over just because the family photos stopped updating or the calls dried up. You are still breathing, still capable of laughter, still able to learn something new, still someone worth knowing and cherishing. Sometimes, the most beautiful chapters are the ones you write alone when no one else is watching, because those are the ones written only for you. Don't wait for others to re-enter your story before you keep living it. Pick up the pen, fill the pages, live well, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were always enough. In the end, what to do when your family starts ignoring you in old age is not about forcing them to change. It's about changing how you respond. It's about recognizing that your dignity, your peace, and your joy can still exist even in the absence of what you thought was essential. It hurts, but it doesn't have to destroy you. And sometimes being ignored is what finally teaches you to pay full attention to your own voice, your own needs, your own worth. That is the beginning of true freedom.